I decided to do a bit of a topic, a bit of a look at some of the best retro horror games. Seeing as how that is your forte, Dan. You do like your horror. So I've got here, I think, 5 retro horror games that came in very high regard. Be interested to see.
These are good ones. These aren't just like the crappiest.
No, these are actually really well ones.
But Dan, I do expect you to tell us about some real shitters.
Oh yeah,
I can probably tell you about the good ones. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, we'll go through this list first. See if you recognise any of them.
I'm not going to look at them.
All right, good.
I looked over before, but I realised that my eyesight's terrible. I couldn't read that far anyway.
Okay, so the first one is from 2002, Eternal Darkness.
Don't know it.
Don't know it.
Or I might. What does it look like?
The game follows multiple protagonists across different time periods, all connected by the cursed Tome of Eternal Darkness. As the story unfolds, players witness the slow unraveling of their character's sanity, manifested through hallucinations, distorted visuals, and manipulative tricks like fake system errors or deleted save files. The game's unique sanity meter mechanic adds a layer of tension, making it one of the most innovative and unsettling horror experiences in gaming history. Eternal Darkness remains a cult classic, revered for both its bold experimentation in gameplay and its narrative. I believe this was a GameCube launch title.
Oh, that's why I never had a GameCube. So the reason I wouldn't have played this game is like it just doesn't look like a horror game. If I'd seen any screen, look at it. It looks like like Tomb Raider,
an adventure game. Yeah,
it's really bright.
So this is the first game to use the sanity meter.
Oh,
really?
Very first one. Yeah,
even before like Amnesia.
Yep, pretty sure.
Even if that does that.
I mean, this is earlier than Amnesia.
Is the PS2 before this or after?
Same time.
Oh, yeah.
Same time. So it got to the point where like it said it was deleting your save files. Like if your sanity meter keep going down, it would go in and say save file confined. I'm not sure. I've never actually played it myself. It's a very expensive game on the GameCube now.
Because I've got one which I weirdly owned for a weird reason because this a workmate I was working with at the time said, "Oh, I really like this game," and I saw it in a bargain bin. I bought it, and now it's worth like $300 or something. It's called Haunting Grounds.
Yeah, right.
And it's like a real strange game where you're just a woman in this house. This is on like, are you finding it, Brayden?
Yep.
You're just walking around and you find this dog and it follows you, but you fully have to train it. But you fully have to train it. It's like training a dog. Like it doesn't even like.
Is it Shenmue?
No, you have to. It takes so long to make the dog do anything that like you have, as in like you know how long it takes the dog to teach it to do something. It's like almost like teaching a real dog, and you've got no weapons, and you're in this house, and there's this giant kind of disabled man like walking around, like kind of like the guy from Goonies, and he just wants to hug you, but if he hugs you, he kills you, and so you just have to run and hide and stuff. But you have like a thing where if you stuff up too much, so you get fear, and your controls stop working properly if it's too scary. For your character, it's got this like fear meter kind of thing. This game is like real weird, like as in like there wasn't a game like it when I played it. I didn't like it. Like they liked it because I'm used to like shooting people and that, but you have to train the dog. But like the dog is just so useless a lot of the time. So you have to, if it does something that you like, you have to give it like treats and that, so it will think that it'll do. It's like training a real dog, so it's like real hard.
This game is like a fever dream.
Yeah, and hide in cupboards and like, and this thing is like a nemesis character. It's just always walking through, so it can not be there for some part. You know what I mean? Like It's just like it's not random. It's just.
It's walking a path, and you may come across that path.
Yeah, and it's just and I'm just real happy because like I looked it up the other day because someone said like most expensive games on the PS, and like I've got it, and I bought it for $5. It was in like the bargain bin.
Yeah,
and I only bought it because I was just trying to bond with like one of my like employees, not my employees, co-workers.
Yep,
just trying to bond. Hey, I'll get it. It's super cheap, and I tried it a couple of times, and then I just realized the other day, oh yeah, I've got that.
Nice,
but
it's
got some good death scenes in it, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Not that I really got.
Well, there's a slow-mo arrow going straight for the didn't show. Okay.
Yeah.
Next game from 1992. Surely you've played this one. Alone in the Dark.
I still have I bought this on PC, and it comes with a tiny little. You know those tiny books they used to make?
Yep.
Like they just print the Bible like this big.
Yep.
It comes with one of them where it's got all the codes for you to get into the game each time. So you have to have this like...
This is clearly horrifying.
Yeah, this game was hard.
Yeah?
It's one of those games where you're like, you never got too far as a kid. You just kept like dying and you couldn't work out what to do. Because they've remade this just recently.
Yes.
With like bloody Stranger Things sheriff as like, one of the main characters.
Yep.
What's his name?
David Harbour.
Yeah.
He was Hellboy.
He was.
Before the new Hellboy.
That new Hellboy
He was the middle Hellboy.
I've banged on it. That new Hellboy movie is so good.
Really? The newest new one?
Yep. The Crooked Man. It is so good. It's like an Italian horror film.
Better than The Golden Army? Because that movie is pretty great.
No, it's different reasons. Like,
different way.
It's like watching... Did you ever see The Witch?
Yes.
It's like that, but with Hellboy in it. Like
cool.
It's like a folk horror, and there's only like 3 characters in the film, and it's so good.
Sorry, I was thinking of Witches, the Roald Dahl movie.
No. Yeah, I remember this with the sword and trying to get these bloody chicken dogs.
Chicken dogs?
Look at them, they've got chicken bodies.
Look at the zombie next to him.
Look. Oh man, that game. But I've still got the code book in case anyone's got a PC version and they can't get into it. It was like bound and everything. It was like a little blue cover.
This was the game that was the first one to do that type of fixed cameras, exploring the room. This is where Resident Evil got their idea from.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah, because this is way before Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But and then there was the Christian Slater film. They made Light in the Dark with Christian Slater.
I bet this actually this has a real charm.
I never got that far.
It's a
demon.
dragon.
It's a flipping.
Demon.
It's a bloody gymnastic demon, just doing flips.
Surely there's a better way to kill someone, demon. Instead of flipping and hitting him with the tail.
Yeah, you've got claws.
Oh, on a haunted night. What a night for a night. All right, next one. Now, these next couple, these might be you've either played them or you've never heard of them before.
I've heard of them.
Oh, so from 1996, Harvester, a PC point-and-click adventure that was developed by DigiFX Interactive and released in 1996. Steve Mason wakes up one day in a surreal 1950s town with no memory of who or what he is. As Steve explores the town, he descends further and further into an ultra-bloody and visceral nightmare. Harvester, one of the most controversial games of its time, blends gratuitous violence and oddball cartoon humor that skewers the discussions of excessive video game violence from the time.
This game is still, I think, one of the most gruesome video games of all time.
Have you played this?
Yeah. I did a video for this channel about this.
Did you?
Whoops. Yeah, remember my most gory game?
Yeah.
It was in that
I
video.
think that video is the only one that still gets views on that channel.
Yep.
It's still, and this has there's a story behind this game. It's real weird, as in, I can't remember what it is, but there's some just scenes in this game that are just known forever, and I can't remember what they are. I just can't remember. There's some really strange childbirth and child stuff in it.
Probably don't want to go there.
It's not like...
But you basically walk around just shooting people, yeah? Point and click, bang, bang.
It's kind of it's I think what makes it weird is it's just normal people. It's like...
Well, it's FMV.
But it's like you could be the problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're a delude. You could be the delude. There is there's a half a cat on that table.
Yeah, right.
There's animal violence. There's child violence. There's toddler violence. It's got.
Yeah, this isn't a cool game. I probably regret putting it.
No. This is great. This is no, but this is where all this kind of stuff is coming. This is the visceralness of these people that are can make a game, and they've just.
You just chop that dude's head off with a pitchfork.
Yeah, but this is untapped creativity of people doing whatever they want. There's no they're not trying to get Steam wish lists. They're not trying to they're doing this purely because they wanted to make this game, which is crazy weird.
All I can see is he's just going around killing people.
Yeah, but he might. I don't think that works.
Just killing people.
Yeah, but you can do that.
So what's the point of the game?
I can't remember. It's so long that I always get confused with Darkseid.
Right.
The Giga game, Geiger.
Geiger, no.
You know him. He's got
the
alien.
HR guy.
His game.
Yeah, right. Well, this one isn't his game. It's Phantasmagoria from 1995, another FMV point-and-click adventure. It had extreme controversy and scrutiny upon its release. Adrienne Delaney and her husband, Don Gordon, move into a mysterious mansion on the New England coast, only to be beset by increasingly violent and macabre incidents. As players guide Adrienne through her new home, the truth behind the mansion's grisly past and its demonic host come to light. Phantasmagoria was banned by retailers and governments alike, facing boycotts all across the country when it was released due to its graphic content.
So this is a Sierra game, and I know this because I've just finished the Sierra novel.
Really?
Big all about Sierra, written by the guy who started Sierra. So his wife. This is the first game with FMV in it ever.
Oh, really?
Yep. They got bought a studio, and they did this. So. And she's fully was into a lady made this game.
A lady made this game.
His wife made this whole game. She wrote it all. She got it all organized. She got all the script. She did it all. And it sold. At one stage, it was like one of the highest selling games ever.
Wow.
So it got banned in all these places, but this game is legendary. What's her name? I can't remember their names. What's her? She's a tiny. Oh, see that?
There's trowel in the mouth.
Yeah, she's a tiny little woman, and yeah. What are their names? I can't remember.
Oh, well, not important.
When you read a whole novel and then you just can't remember the people's names that it's about.
Yep.
Yeah, the Sierra story's so good. It's just
All right. So bloody game all around. Another
game.
one, and I'm not sure if you would have heard of this one because it's from 1989. And it's called Sweet Home.
Alabama.
Now, this one is a Famicom exclusive horror RPG. As 5 people enter the abandoned Maima mansion in hopes of discovering rare frescoes, they find themselves trapped in the mansion and surrounded by endless ranks of the dead. A seminal pioneer for the survival horror game and one of the most influential horror games of all time, Sweet Home becomes the foundation of what would inspire the entire Resident Evil franchise.
I have heard of this.
Players must manage limited inventory space, key item usage, rationed health, and difficult enemy encounters as the horror of the Mamiya. Thank you. Mamma Mia crushes in around them.
Wow. Sorry, that's terrible. I laughed so loud into the mic. I'm so sorry, everyone.
For the podcast listeners, you can't hear me because you're deaf. So you have played this on, Dan?
Mm-mm.
No?
I just know of it. And I've watched video essays on it and stuff because I'm one of those people.
So what's it about?
It's exactly what you just said. It's like a horror one with more than kind of one character. But if I remember, you've got those characters that follow you, but if they die, they're gone.
Yep.
So and they have certain traits. So it's your lives are the people.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
So if a teammate dies, there's a chance you can't make it through a puzzle?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Okay.
I don't know enough.
Anyway, I thought it was cool that, one of these really, really early games from 1989 was sort of the inspiration of Resident Evil as well.
What's that NES game that's super violent that came out and it's like a shooting game?
A shooting game?
You shoot with the what's the light gun?
Yep.
It was an actual game that came out and it's
Duck Hunt.
No, it's so it's a real game that came out and it's so violent and oh my god. Can you just look that up, Brayden? There's SNES light gun gore.
SNES or NES?
NES.
ANES?
NES.
I'm bringing that back.
While Brayden finds that, we'll talk about the next one.
We'll talk about the last one. The last one I've got here.
Chiller?
Chiller, that's it.
Chiller?
Put it up.
All right, I'm on it.
When he's on it.
What's Chiller? All right, we'll talk about Chiller just after we've talked about Silent Hill from 1999. Developed by Team Silent and published by Konami in 1999. Floppy's going to be so angry we're talking about Silent Hill. Silent Hill stands as one of the greatest horror games of all time.
This is the new one.
After narrowly avoiding an accident the night prior, Harry Mawson awakes to find himself in the cursed town of Silent Hill. Searching for his daughter, Harry learns of Silent Hill's violent past and the living nightmare that possesses it. Trading gunplay and deep combat for pure survival and atmosphere, Silent Hill is a masterclass in audio and visual design. Well, is it? It's a lot of fog. As the fog-laden town morphs into a rusted and twisted hellscape come nightfall, players must use their puzzle-solving skills more than their trigger fingers to survive the experience. Silent Hill is physical proof that the true horror games don't need cutting-edge hardware and modern presentations to instill fear and tension. Do you have this game?
Yeah.
This game's worth $300 as well.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've got the OG of this.
Really?
Kudrev just gave it to me one day.
Oh, really?
He's like, here you go, mate. You like horror?
Well, if you ever want to sell it, I know a co-host of this show who's desperate to buy one.
Who?
Floppy. It's his last game that he needs to complete his childhood collection.
I don't like selling stuff. You know that. I prefer to have it sitting there. This game is great. It's weird how good this game is. Like, for a time when, you know, there was so many tank control games like, Resident Evil that's coming out, and it's so hard to move. Like, you can still move pretty good in this game, even though it was tanky.
Right.
If you know what I mean. But, like, yeah, just, I always remember, like, you just go to the school, and there's these, like, tiny little ghosts. They're, like, this big, like, little babies. Mm. And they're, like, see-through. You can't see them, but if you walk into them, they go, and they walk off, and then just fade away again. They don't do anything. And they're just all through the school. Like, they're, like, the ghosts of, like,
kids who were killed?
Newborns.
Oh, jeez.
And, like, just stuff like... But it doesn't say that. And you just look at it and you're like, oh, I guess that's what that is. Like...
Is this the one with the really cool ending where you walk in and it's a Shiba Inu?
That's number 2.
That's number 2?
Yeah. Oh. That's one of the endings which is really hard to get. So the Silent Hill endings are just, like, real hard to get. As in, like... It's not a matter of how well you play or what you do. It's just like, if you didn't do on this level, go to this one room and click this one switch, like, you just can't get that ending. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
It's like, they're real weird things, like specific, like, you need to go here and put this thing in here and then half solve this puzzle and then do, you know what I mean? Like, they're a bit weird, some of the endings. Like you just wouldn't ever know, like, you couldn't do them unless you accidentally did it, and then you wouldn't know how you did it.
They're basically there for people doing video essays.
Yeah, but it's weird because, like, it was before all that stuff.
Yeah, this was back in the 90s, bro.
Yeah. No, I know, but, like, they're like, people are going to think on this.
Yeah. I mean, they're not all like that. Some of the endings are a bit more obvious. But, yeah, Silent Hill was a great one. Like, and the first one's so good. And it's just like, you know, you've got your maps and that, and it's that first game I ever saw where you, like, you know, you come to a locked door and you look at the map and your character is written on it, like, scribbled out. In the new remake of 2, he actually, like, you see him when you go out of the map, you see him drawing the stuff on the map. The new remake's really good, hey? Like, of the second one.
So why did they remake the second one but not the first?
But probably because, I don't know, maybe it's like, I mean, the second one has Pyramid Head in it, and I think
that would be it.
That's
really?
Yeah, it's the one that everyone...
Just the marketing?
Yeah, it's the one that everyone knows. Like Silent Hill 1, like, it's not as well known, the story. The thing I don't like is in Silent Hill 2 is, like, in the first one, you know, you've got the thing where, like, the world changes and, like, it all, like, up. That doesn't happen in number 2. That's just the Silent Hill 1 thing.
Yeah, right.
In number 2, it's just, like, as you go on, like, it just gets like that. It just starts to, like, you know, each place you get to is even more grosser and that. But the new ones, like, when you start going to the hell worldy, I don't know what they're called, like the grossy, rusty world, it's just so, like, detailed now and crazy good. And I'm like, oh man, this is so good. Like, all the paint's all peeling. Like, every room is like bespoke. You know what I mean? They haven't repeated anything in any room. So you just, like, every bit, like, wall has got, like, new slime coming, you know, like, this is number 2.
Yeah. Look at Brayden. Brayden's having a good time watching this.
This is a new one.
Having a fun time, Brayden?
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
That thing was vomited on the ground.
Who's this Zipper Man?
That's just the base enemy.
Oh,
and if you hit them on the ground, they scurry off like, and then do just their legs, and, you know, they put a whole bunch of, like, different attacks and stuff. Yeah.
Should we have a look at Chiller? So we see this NES shooting game that Dan was talking about.
All right, we got.
Yeah, I can't believe this game existed.
I've never even seen it. Oh, I probably have seen it. Chiller for share data. So was this a published licensed NES game?
Yeah, there's something about it. Like, it came out and then they just pulled it.
Really?
They didn't realize, or something like that. Maybe. Like, that's just like, look at this. Like, go to, like, the second level. Like, there's like a, it's just maybe like there's like it looks like a A torture chamber.
Oh, it was an HES game.
Wait, not this one. Yeah, the grey one, Brayden. Yep. Yeah, look at this. So, like...
I remember this from your videos, yeah.
Like, you just...
Shooting body parts? You shoot a child?
And, like, you shoot the rack, the thing, and it pulls the person apart, and, like... Yeah, and, like...
So, I don't think this had a...
The ectoplasmic tabulator.
I don't think this had a PAL release. This was only in the US. And, like...
Oh, dang.
Box copies have sold anywhere from 200 to 300.
This is the one I remember. Look, crushing his head, and look...
Chop off with the head.
Yeah, this is the better torture chamber. Look, chop his leg off. Like,
oh my goodness.
Oh man, I would have loved this as a kid. I would have been all over it. Like I was like, even stuff like in Tony Hawk Pro Skater when the skateboard fell over and blood came out of their mouth. I thought it was cool.